All right, so here's the deal. It is 10:58 in the morning on Monday. This company called Maingear, they make custom PCs. They made one for Marquez, they made one for Deadmau5. They hit me up on Twitter, I think it was in April, like 6 months ago, and they were like, you should come check out our space, store, retail shop thing. It's in New Jersey. They're about to be here. I'm at the studio, but I'm going to Jersey. Let's do a quick transition. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Sam. Nice Beamer, yeah. Yo, I got no hands. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Wallace. Pleasure, man. Hope I just like kind of drop that back there. Sorry, it's a bit dirty.
That's all right, man. That means you use it.
What are you shooting with? Oh, the
No,
Mark II.
that's cool. The 60 Mark II. Yeah. The thing with this camera is that it's full frame and you can articulate the screen and it's a touch screen.
And the autofocus is.
And the autofocus is very good.
It's still not 4K though, are they?
Still not
No.
4K. No, just Canon. Make a full frame with an articulating touchscreen that shoots 4K. It's really not that hard. So I'm getting driven to New Jersey right now by Wallace, who is the creator of this company. Wallace, what is Maingear, and how long has Maingear been Maingear?
It's kind of crazy because I started Maingear because I had a experience with another company.
Wow. Meaning what?
Like I was 18 years old. Like I bought this computer. I saved up all this money for a computer, and I had built my systems before, but I wanted something like a branded PC.
Okay.
Instead of just building my own. And you know, when you build your own, there's always stuff that's like not perfect.
Yep.
At least like when you're a DIY guy. Just because you're lazy, right? So I went and I bought a computer from a company, and I saved up. This was during Christmas, right? I saved up, buy this computer. The thing arrived damaged, right?
Oh,
So,
wow.
And to be fair, it wasn't their fault. It arrived physically damaged from shipping, and that's one of those moments where, like, I think any real company that stands behind their product should just say,
We'll cover it.
Who gives a crap? Whose fault it is? It's all about the experience. You bought it from us. Let's just take care of it, right? I just ended up like rebuilding it myself. So like I at the time Newegg was popping, so I ordered some parts from Newegg. You know, Amazon wasn't what it is today yet. And I'm like, you know, while I was doing that, I'm like, you know what? I can do this myself. Like I can actually do this and like do a better job at it. And I'm like, I'll start up a company. Like that's how it is, right? You just start this company and you make a lot of money, you become rich, and life's good. So, well, that's what you think.
That's
when you're
the
18,
dream,
anyway,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. How long ago was that?
This was in 2002.
Oh, wow, a while ago.
I was 18. Yeah,
Wow.
I was 18. I couldn't find a job. I bought a plane ticket to CES because that's where I thought I had to go.
Nice.
Had no freaking clue about anything in the business. I didn't know anyone. I just literally bought a ticket, 18 years old. I asked my mom for permission. I'm like, hey mom, can I go to Vegas? She's like, yeah, sure.
Where were you living at the time?
I was living in my mom's basement.
Literally?
Literally in my mom's
What
basement.
state?
In New Jersey.
New
Yeah.
Jersey? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So she's like, yeah, sure, you know, you can go to Vegas, you know, go have fun and go meet some people. So I shook some hands out there. I met some people. I had a big break from Leo Laporte.
Wow.
You know who that guy is?
Of
I'm
course,
sure. Yeah,
of course.
So Leo and
Twit.
and Patrick Norton.
Yeah.
So these guys at the time they were at a show called they were running a show called The Screensavers on Tech TV, right? So there was just like huge line to get autographs from Leo and Pat, right? So I stood in line for like an hour,
And you were just a fan?
I was a fan, but I really wanted to talk to him.
Okay.
And tell him that I'm building PCs.
Ah, okay.
So I'm this, scrawny 18-year-old kid. It's kind of crazy, man. So like I stayed in line. When I went to talk to Leo, I'm like, hey Leo, check this out. I build amazing PCs. I build the world's best PCs, right? He's like, oh, really? Good job, kid. Like,
Yeah.
Good for you, man. I'm like,
Right.
no, you don't understand. Like, these things are awesome. Can I send you one? And he's like, look, I don't want your PC, kid. Like, I know you probably worked really hard for that PC, and that was my only PC, the one I had built.
Wow.
That I had for the company, right? so like, he's like, don't send me a PC. Like, here's what I'll do. I'll put it on my show. I'll do a giveaway on my show, and we'll review it and post it and put it on TV. And at the time, TV was really like,
It was the big distribution
that was
platform,
it.
right? Like,
Yeah, exactly, right?
No Twitter.
No Twitter, yeah. It was like pretty. That was like if you made it on TV, you kind of made it. So he gave me his like cell phone number, his contact information, and he's still a big deal. But at the time, he was on TV, right? So,
Yeah.
So I get back, I send him an email. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna send you this PC. I sent it to him, but that gave me enough time to get all my ducks in a row, right? And basically, equated to me having my website ready, right, and looking like a big company, right, or looking like a professional.
And it was
company.
literally just you.
It was just
Wallace.
it was just me.
Just you.
It was me and basically my buddy at the time. His name is Gio.
Okay.
And,
Is he still at Maingear?
No. So like at one point, Gio is a good dude. He had he got kids and stuff.
Okay,
and,
okay.
He hadn't made it yet, right? So like I built this PC. I send it to the screensavers. Like it goes on the screensavers. I got a 1-800 number. I got my website done. I actually went and got this custom foam packaging done so I can ship the PCs.
I was just gonna ask what were you doing about shipping today?
Yeah. Because I had the experience
Right,
with the other company. I'm
right.
like, this has got to be perfect, right? So and painted PCs weren't like we weren't the first ones to do it, but people weren't really using automotive paint at the time yet. People
So
were
that's what you're kind of like. What made you special as a company back then was the painting.
when we first started,
Right, because like
yeah.
anyone could buy parts and put it together in a box, right?
That's right.
But the painting was okay.
I built this PC. It was already built. I painted my PC and I shipped it to the screensavers, right? Tech TV, and it went on, man. And it was crazy because as soon as it went on, our phones like went off the hook. We
Okay.
went from 0 to having like a lot of action. And more importantly, that opened up the doors for other like venues for us. So for example, we tried to work with review publications at the time.
Yeah.
I had tried to reach out to these guys during that month and hadn't really heard back from anyone, and that caused a magazine called CPU Mag to actually accept the review system. They're like, oh, we saw your stuff on Tech TV.
Wow.
Can you send us a review system? So CPU Magazine, they do a roundup. And I'll show you when you get to my office. In the roundup, we actually blew everybody out of the water with our performance. So
How is it that you were able to do that? Like, how is it like? Were you just buying parts like anyone else could?
Yeah, but I was tuning them, right? And
like going in and properly clocking them and making
overclocking,
sure
exactly.
all of the parts talk to each other and that the drivers are installed properly and all that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's assembling the system correctly and then tweaking it, right, to maximize the performance of the computer. And
that was something you learned organically just from being a PC nerd back in the day, like
That's
yeah.
The
Okay.
the modding community at the time, I used to live in hardforums.com and hardocp, etc. So these like really great websites on OnTech, Tom's Hardware. And at the time, like water cooling was really like the dangerous thing to do.
Yep.
Like you're kind of an idiot if you put water in your PC.
Yes.
But I hadn't really built a liquid cooled system for myself yet. But I'm
Okay.
like, you know what? This is the future. This is it, because it's gonna give me the thermal headroom to overclock these things even farther. So we were the first to make a water cooled system commercially available.
Got it.
So like I went out and like I bought like antifreeze from I went to basically like an auto shop store and I bought these fittings and I bought Redline water wetter, they called it at the time, and whatever it took to build this monstrosity. And then we sent the first liquid cooled PC out and it killed everybody. So we went out in 2009 and we had this like this differentiated product. We call it the Shift.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shift was this pretty simple idea. We're gonna get a chassis and turn it on its side for vertical heat dissipation. We were the first ones to do that. Like nobody had done that. And if you think about it, heat rises or radiates. So
Yes.
it makes like a lot of sense.
Yes.
Right? For efficiency. And in our testing, it actually made a difference. We were able to run the fan slower at slower speeds. And the system we were able to clock our systems really high.
Wow.
So like again, we stepped it up with performance on the performance side. And again, we offered a product that was unique.
And where we're going right now is where exactly?
So we're going to our factory, our facility, the Nerdery, in Kenilworth. That's where our headquarters is. And I'll show you where these beautiful PCs are built.
So you build them here?
We build them right here.
And this is the office too, properly, right?
Yeah,
Or-
it's the office. We build them and support it out of here.
In good old Jersey.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna transition. We'll be in the office next.
I'll take the stuff out of the trunk.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, good old Jersey.
Good man.
Thank you. Alrighty. Oh wow. This is like you
That's
come
like
here and this means this is business right here. Wow. So am I cool to film? Like, is there any off-limit areas in here?
No,
or-
we hit all the good.
Okay, cool. Give me a quick little tour.
You want to start from the top?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like this is kind of the wall of fame, right? That I told you about. This is when we actually built the first liquid cooled PC and we blew everybody out of the water. They actually put our PC in the middle because it was just like, you know, monstrous, right? The
Wow,
performance.
that's so 90s.
Yeah, exactly. But
Same.
this area here is kind of, this is the area where we actually game, right? So, you know, at lunchtime or after work, we're sitting down and this is our LAN, right? This is for the employees where we get to hang out. And I also get to do our live streams out of here too, which is pretty. And you know, we have V-Sync monitors and, you know, we just swap the PCs in and out. We have the VR setups are here, so we have the HTC and we actually have some of the Razer stuff too, the HDK2, and some of the trophies and awards. We just got the YouTube one, which is cool.
Nice.
And some of the NVIDIA partnerships, AMD and Intel. So I'm in the Intel Board of Advisors, AMD Board of Advisors, and NVIDIA Board of Advisors.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
And we're strategic launch partners with them too for every generation. So we have day one releases for Intel, AMD, NVIDIA.
Meaning when the chips come out,
Yep.
when the new parts
have
come
them,
out, you've
yeah.
got them
So
ready
you
to
have
go.
We
Yeah.
actually get them ahead of time, and we test for compatibility. We want to make sure, and we give them feedback, and also like price positioning. So everything matters, right?
And when you're testing, it's back here.
yeah, there's actually a lab which I can't, unfortunately I can't show you some stuff in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But we do have a closed lab that we keep everything under NDA that's in there. Yeah.
But you can show me off camera, right?
Yeah, we can show you. Some stuff. This is the area where we keep all the NDA stuff. So.
Ooh, I like that font too.
And this is the nerd area. This is where we're building all the
Wow.
PCs.
Oh my God,
And-
literally.
And we're making the works of arts that we like to call works of arts, right? So
Wow.
one man, one machine. We basically start with the bin. The bin has parts inside. We actually allocate that bin to a technician, and the technician will build it from beginning to end. So that person will start from here. Let me show you. We'll start from scratch, right? So it's taking every part out of the boxes, making sure that everything is inspected first, and that's when the build will commence. And the end result is something like this.
Wow. Wow. So you could tell that the car influence is real strong here.
Oh, yeah.
Like it really looks like, you know, an amazing engine, right?
You know, at Maingear we build everything from the inside out. So we're really proud that we want to show the under the hood, right, so to speak, or the internal of the PC. And you see the liquid cooling, you see the chrome fittings, you see. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing, but it's built for performance. So every part is tweaked, overclocked.
So it's not just an aesthetic. I mean, it is partially an aesthetic thing, but it
Yeah.
it is function too,
Everything's
right?
function.
Yeah.
And when you overclock a PC and you're running everything out of spec on air, it tends to ramp the fans up and it tends to be louder in your office or bedroom. So with our PCs, they're very quiet, even though they're overclocked, right? So we make sure that the acoustics is also tweaked as well. Our liquid cooling is actually intelligent, so it's you know, it ramps up and down based on the load, right? So if you're running like a heavy Excel spreadsheet calculation, it's gonna ramp up and cool up the CPU enough. If you're playing PUBG online, it's gonna do what it has to do to keep everything.
And is this open, like on?
Yeah, that one's open. Yeah.
Okay, not on purpose.
Side panel.
Or.
The side
Oh,
panel,
okay,
so we
okay,
actually took that
okay.
off.
Oh, nice. This is like a Razer.
Yeah, so we're actually the official boutique system builder for Razer. So we're the only official boutique system builder for Razer. So yeah, they're partnered with a tier 1 for like their lower end PCs, and we're the guys that build it for. Yeah, so it's the R1 and the R2, which is pretty cool. And you see here, it's actually they're on and they're not that loud, right? They're just really.
All of them are on, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the lights that are on. The PCs are running.
Oh yeah. And every little detail, right? So like, you know, the cabling, the cable combs that are holding the cables together, and just so it can look good. So we actually laser cut these in house, and you know, every cable is tied or tucked away to perfection.
And you've got the machines here that do all of this.
Yes, everything's done in house, including these wonderful paint jobs. So
So you got the machines here.
yeah. There's another building which I'll take you there too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So once the systems are built, they actually come to the burn-in area, and here is where we're actually doing all the testing and making sure that the system is basically.
This is like a
Flawless.
command station.
Oh yeah.
It's like NASA over here. Wow.
So yeah, we're actually. First of all, we have a very complex OPK imaging system, so we're able to flash windows in 7 minutes. And this is a
Wow.
dynamic Windows injection. With that, we actually had to custom build it because I'm gonna get a little nerdy here. Essentially, like when you actually image windows into systems, it's literally a mirror image that you're just replicating and slapping it on. In our case, we're actually installing Windows from scratch, our server is reading the PNP ID of that machine and only throwing the drivers necessary to that machine. That's applicable to that machine. So we have like a really super clean Windows installation.
You're not installing
Bloatware, exactly.
Right. Okay.
And it's running at its peak from day one. So a lot of the tier 1 manufacturers, they'll ship you a bunch of crap that you don't need or bloatware.
Right.
And,
like a lot of phones from the carriers.
Exactly. Yeah, same idea. Exactly. So we're like the peer version of Windows. Yeah. And once we install the drivers, that's when we start our burn-in procedure. And we're testing the CPU, the GPU, the memory all together at the same time. Odds are you will never stress test it that much at home. Never bring it to those levels of testing at home. But we're doing it here. Sometimes you might have memory that posts and is working fine until you stress test it 100%. That's when it'll blue screen. Sometimes you might have a GPU that might pass a 3D Mark benchmark, but we'll catch it visually, it might artifact. So like while you're benchmarking, if you're not visually looking at the benchmarks, it might just throw like these weird jagged lines that it's just a defective GPU, but technically it still passed, right? So we'll pop that out, put in the GPU in, start the test all over again. It's very meticulous, everything from the way we build it to the way we test it. And I mean, even these racks, these are Home Depot racks. So like we made this out of wood, right? Like we made these rails.
Wow.
And everything from scratch.
So everything in here is custom too.
Everything,
right? Basically,
yeah.
right?
We couldn't find anything that would suit our needs, so we're like, hey, let's build these things where we can actually service the system all, and just swap the memory out, put it back in, slide it back in. So just wanted something just that would work for us. Yeah.
And what are these?
These are the systems being tested right now. These are
Okay.
all customer systems. These are customer orders, and they're being tested. They're going to be benchmarked, and once all the testing is qualified and passed, it'll be sent to the shipping station.
So there's the building aspect and then the testing aspect.
Absolutely.
Both equally as important. Okay.
Here's the Omen that you probably saw at Marquez's studio, and this is an example. This is a partnership that we did with HP, and like I told you in the car, it's like AMG, Mercedes. We're the AMG in the story. Reservoir, radiator.
And what liquid is this?
It's actually a custom mixture that we had done in-house.
Okay.
And here's why. When you're shipping liquid cooling systems or liquid cooled systems, especially in the winter, it can freeze.
Right.
So like the stuff will expand and it might even blow up on the way. So we need to make sure that whatever we build here, we can ship properly. And
what can this get down to cooling wise?
So I don't have the specs on top of my head. Ron would probably.
Yeah, so we literally spent like 3 weeks with bottles and freezers.
Wow.
I think it's like -20 was what we
Wow.
set it to.
Okay, which your PC should never get.
Right,
that cold.
and well, it's a combination too. So you don't want to like ruin the cooling performance or make the coolant too thick.
Right.
So we had to we literally had 40 bottles in a deep freezer with different like combinations of the coolant to figure out which one was going to be optimized. It's a non-conductive, microbial, anti-algae, so that it will last for like forever basically. And if it does leak, it won't damage anything.
So this is like the most powerful PC you guys build, or no?
No, I mean we have our Rush, which is our flagship. It's a full ATX system.
Okay.
And in terms of power, you can get the 18 core across. We don't restrict like performance on that platform. So if you want like a cheaper entry level chassis with all high-end components and you want to focus on the components, we offer that. If you want like a super fancy chassis like this, that's more expensive with high-end components or low-end components, we can do that too.
So there's no restrictions for mixing and matching.
That's it. So once it's filled, it'll come back here in the shipping station, and in here we'll prep everything, the final steps, right? So here you're gonna have, if the system is painted, you're gonna have different waxes and compounds that we actually have to wax your system with, which is kind of, we use Meguiar's, we like Meguiar's stuff, it's good.
Literally car.
It's car stuff, right? And then like when we close the box, we actually spray with new car scent.
Wow.
So like when you have that fresh smell of new car scent.
Wow, that's a nice touch.
Yeah,
wow,
I mean,
wow.
you like electronics. When you're
Yes.
a tech guy, when you open a new
smell
box, it smells good.
Yeah.
Except we didn't want it to smell like a burnt PCB, so we're like, let's make sure it smells great. This tower will go inside essentially a little printed box, which is a very nice retail box, and this box will go inside this bigger box. And here's the final example right there.
So it's double foam.
Smart.
So like I'm really paranoid about shipping.
You were really hurt by that shipping. That's I mean,
affected
that's
my
what
life.
sparked the whole company. Wow.
So it's kind of weird because I just want to make sure it gets there like safely.
Yeah.
And then we worked with FedEx, UPS and with all their drop testing to make sure that our stuff, these are heavy, right? So
Yeah.
it's 80 pounds or whatever.
Wow.
It qualifies. So there's and the experience has to be good. So back here is
Oh yeah.
this is our studio.
Oh
like, where we
yeah.
build.
Oh my God.
This is
Look at this
everything you
beast.
see on our website
Oh my
is customer builds. There's no photo,
No
models,
renders
no
or-
renders,
yeah.
nothing. So everything. This is a customer
Ah.
build. We literally took it off. We thought it was dope. We take it out of the build
Sick.
line.
Wait, so this is a customer's, and you thought it was such a cool custom design build that you were like, yo, we should take photos of this.
Yeah. We bring it
Sick.
back here. We take pictures before it ships out.
Sick.
Yeah.
Wow. What kind of a beast is this?
So dual GTX 1080 Ti's. I believe is this?
Dual?
Yeah, dual 1080 Ti's and SLI. 16 core AMD Threadripper CPU, and I think it has 32 gigs of RAM.
Wow.
But
That's silent.
yeah.
How much does something like this run for?
This one here will
Yeah.
probably be like, I think like 6,000 or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this should last a decade, right?
You're getting a 16 core processor, it'll
I
last you
mean,
for a very long time.
yeah.
So it really depends on the person. What's ironic though is that these guys that get these caliber of systems, they call every year and they buy the latest and greatest. They're hardcore about it. And then you have the guys that like save up for every 3 years. They'll just buy like a dope high-end system. They don't want to reinstall Windows. They don't want to upgrade it for 3 years. They don't want to touch it. And then you have the guys that, man, like it's just a kid that like saved up for years to buy his dream gaming PC, and it might be like $1,000, right? Or it might be $1,500. And man, that guy to me is even more important than this guy here giving me $5,000-$6,000 because that guy is really passionate, right? So like I need to make sure that the attention to detail starts at the $699 computers and it goes up across the board, across
So the same, doesn't matter if you spend a couple hundred or a couple thousand, the process from start to finish is treated the same, right?
Exactly.
Even the same people are building.
Same people are
the whole
building.
range of
Okay.
PCs.
There's no like
we
one
don't
person
got the
that's
guy
like-
that builds the cheap ones.
Okay. I like that all of every image that you see on the website is shot here,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. And our videos and everything else on our YouTube channel.
It's cool because you can turn it around really quickly too.
Right. I mean, you literally just walk in this room, do what you need to do, pop out the SD card,
And
and
Ron's
you're
got
good
it
to
down
go.
to science where it
Yeah.
takes a minute.
Oh, so you're the dude.
I do photography, yeah.
Sick.
It's my hobby and something I
And
do get to do
you're
here
shooting
too.
Sony.
Yep.
It's gonna be a little moist outside.
That's right.
Actually.
I know, right?
So this is where all the painting happens. So literally, it's literally a body shop. Right? If you look inside, we set up a downdraft spray.
Wow. And there's a dude with the mask and painting.
You'll meet him right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll meet him right now. And that's Ray. So Ray's doing.
Hey, Ray.
Good morning. How
Good
are you
morning.
doing?
Sam, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
If
Sam.
you got some paint on there, that's cool. This is your workshop here, huh?
Yes, we're getting ready to put a urethane primer on here. This process is done the same exact way as when I used to work in a high-end collision shop. So the materials, yeah, for 30 years.
Wow.
And this booth is a downdraft spray booth, the same as in a high quality.
And you're the dude that's painting the computers.
Yes,
Yeah, all of them.
I am the guy.
Wow.
He is the guy.
Wow, and then there's a lot of colors here.
With this system here, this is a professional mixing system. With this system, we can make any color on any car, anywhere, any requested color. We can. I am tapped into all automotive, high-end, low-end, and we can make any color.
Sick.
And this is a quality bake job, where it's not going to peel off
Is it
next year.
baked in this?
This is
room
yes.
here?
Yes.
So-
We can go in for a second. It's. You just caught me just before.
Oh yeah.
I'm going.
I was gonna
in
say I'd
front.
love to go in here.
Yeah.
Should
so
I be
now-
wearing a mask or?
No, it's safe now.
Okay.
Nothing's going on.
Okay.
So
And this is where it's baked too?
the whole process is done in here. This is full ceiling, fresh air through the ceiling, the exhaust through the floor.
Wow.
Everything is hung from the ceilings, inside out. Everything is painted completely.
And it's baked in here too? This room gets super hot?
Up to 140 degrees. How long we bake it?
Yeah.
I only bake it 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. And then it's done.
Yes.
And then you
well,
can.
Well, then it dries overnight, and then we take it a step further. Now, if you have a speck of dust, now in a collision shop, you've got a big car, it's fine, it's done.
Yeah.
Here, we take it a step further, where the next day, I take 2,000 Ultra Grit sandpaper, block it down, and buff it. There's not a speck, there's no orange peel. It's top quality. The finish on these units will match the finish on a Porsche.
And so these have not been painted yet, right?
No, these are sanded and cleaned. These are ready for urethane primer. Then we put our color, and then we use a urethane clear.
So like you'll get these crazy, just fingerprints on it, right? It's not fully prepped yet, but you'll see the gloss and the effects. It looks beautiful.
And it's done right here.
It's all done here.
Right there. We just discussed the custom build. Can we just preview the kind of power that I'm getting, or do you want to just save it as a complete surprise?
So it'll be a multi-core processor, obviously, like a lot of cores, a lot of GBs, put it that way. So looking at SLI, GTX 1080s SLI, looking at X299 processor with some NVMe SSD drives in there. And the build's gonna look just really, really dope. It'll be
like aesthetically awesome.
It'll be you designed it.
Yes.
So you'll like it.
So in about a month, right?
Yeah.
We'll get both of you in the studio and install it and like show it off and do the thing.
You're gonna have the ultimate like gaming / streaming setup.
So
really dope.
what you're telling me is I'll be able to play 4K 60 with no problems while I'm streaming, while I'm rendering a video.
That's correct.
That's what I like to hear. Door-to-door service, courtesy of Maingear. Wallace, thank you very much. The next time you are seen on this YouTube channel, you will be up inside the studio, and we're gonna set up what may or may not be the ultimate. Are we calling it the ultimate streaming setup? It'll be the ultimate streaming setup. Dope. All right, catch you in the next video, YouTube. Thanks for watching. And Ron, thanks for making this happen in real life, dude.
Thanks.